Hello, everyone. Happy World Kindness Day. Thank you so much for being with us. I am honored and privileged to be sitting here with the wonderful Kahane and John, two amazing directors who have long-standing careers with Oscar-nominated films, Emmy-nominated films under their belts. And now we're here today to discuss their newest film, The Antidote. As the co-founder and CEO of kindness.org, it was such a privilege to be able to do this and have the opportunity to partner with this duo on releasing The Antidote to all of you today. There's no better word, mission, message that I could think of that we need right now than that of kindness. When I first began kindness.org, it was the belief that every human has the capacity for kindness, but it's a choice. And it's up to us to determine how we make those choices and who we make those choices for. We can do it every day, however we want, but it's those acts that matter most when people aren't expecting it. When we get to show up for someone and delight them and surprise them with an act of kindness, where you can see an impact in a remarkable and extraordinary way. And that's much of what The Antidote tries to uncover as it travels around the United States, seeking out stories of people, everyday people, people who you might never know who they are, but the idea that no matter who you are, you can choose kindness. And we're so excited now to talk through what prompted these two to make The Antidote and why they felt such an urgency to do it right now in this year. So I'd love to start. Kahane, can I hear from you first and just a little bit of your journey and what led you to commit to this film?
Absolutely. So I was contacted by John Hoffman, who we had some mutual filmmaker friends, but we had never met. And he told me that he had some funding to make a film around one word, and that word was kindness. And this was 2.5 years ago, at a time when, you know, and certainly I think many fellow Americans really were concerned and feeling like civility was just like crumbling beneath us. And why? And what did that say? And who are we? And what did that mean? So, I was lucky enough to meet with John over a cup of coffee and sort of talk about the possibility of working on this project together. He can speak to that a little bit more, but for me, it was really personal. Not only, was it a professional opportunity to work with someone with a long career as John, but it also explored an aspect of being a human that's moves me kind of like no other does. And I was really interested in exploring it, especially at a time where it felt like, as I said before, civility was crumbling. So, I'll let John take it from there, because really it started with him. And we can tell you more about how we arrived at the film.
Great.
So but like Kahane, I was very I felt like my world was seriously disrupted after the 2016 election. And I didn't know what to do with those feelings, and feeling that there was this growing level of division in the society, and there was a rise of hate. And I had a prior relationship with a major nonprofit health organization that had funded some public health work that I had been involved in. And kindness is at the core of their mission. And I was meeting with their CEO, Lloyd Dean. And in going into that meeting, I asked their senior leadership about this commitment to kindness is at the core of their healthcare mission. And in that meeting, I said, would you ever consider doing a film about kindness? After I had learned how serious that commitment was. And they said, we should talk about that. Mm-hmm. And that led to them giving Kahane and me enough money to get going on a film. As she said, just on one word. We were given complete and total editorial freedom, control and freedom to explore a film about kindness. And as I like to say, it was a daunting experience to feel like you had the biggest canvas in the world to paint on, and you have one word. And where do you start? What do you do as a creator? Where do you go with that. And so we really had the privilege of time to talk to a lot of people from many different disciplines, from politics and philosophy, economists, and artists and poets, and do a lot of reading into compassion and empathy, not just beyond kindness, but in a realm of human experience that embraces all of those aspects of how we engage with one another. And out of that came a conversation with a small team we had created, where we put aside all that research. That was rather an intellectual process. And we just asked ourselves, what, at the end of this, what do we want to have answered? What would we feel that we have really answered for an audience? And so we came up with a series of questions that we felt that we should answer, which are, how do we raise our children? How do we teach our children? How do we take care of the sick and the dying? How do we live and work together? How do we welcome the stranger? And how do we lead? And we thought that if we could tell stories, and we knew that we would have to tell a variety of stories to get at that much of the life experience, which really goes from birth to death, and captures, with those 6 questions, we felt we captured almost all the worlds that we move through in our daily lives. And then something really horrible happened in this country, which was Charlottesville. And it rocked all of our worlds. It just really changed the direction of this project. I think, Kahane, why don't you take the baton from there?
Sure. So Charlottesville happened, and it was, a moment of reckoning for so many Americans, ourselves included. And we realized really that while we were using these questions as our North Star up to that point, that it wasn't enough just to address, look for stories that touched on those questions, that we needed to acknowledge throughout the film that there are fundamental unkindnesses that so many Americans, that it's part of their everyday life. And, it's fundamentally unkind not to have a safe place to sleep. It's fundamentally unkind to not have access to health care. It's fundamentally unkind not to earn a living wage. Racism, sexism, homophobia are all fundamentally unkind. And so it was those unkindnesses that we identified in combination with those original 6 questions that then became our lens through which we started our search, down every rabbit hole we possibly could find to see what stories that we could tell that would work together in chorus together, to get at this notion of who we are through this lens of kindness, and how could we present kindness not as something soft, which it's so often perceived, but as really a fierce tool, which is what we believe it is.
Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
of course, the result is this incredible film, which we'll watch shortly, The Antidote. And I love one of the things that you said, Kahane, which is this idea of intentional kindness, which is so much of how we've been reframing the conversation. We actually don't even like to say random, because we do feel it's about the intention, and we say recommended acts of kindness, where we're trying to get people to think more about who they are and what they could do to contribute to a kinder world, because everyone's different and everyone's coming at it from a different vantage point, different experiences. And I think all of that is something we should be mindful of. So thank you. That was a wonderful background on the film. I feel like, being so intimately close to this one word and this project for the past 2.5 years, you've seen it all. And I'd be really curious if you could share with the audience how you would each define kindness here today.
What a great
Wow.
question.
Yeah. No one's asked us that one.
Well, I just have to be, my answer is informed by the film that everyone's about to see, which is that it is lifting somebody else up.
Hmm.
No matter what you are, no matter how you live, no matter where you live, no matter how you go through your day, if you have the opportunity to lift somebody else up, it could be a smile, it could be a joke, but it could be service.
Mhm.
And to me, that's kindness, is recognizing that we all need that. And it is just being mindful that when that opportunity is in front of you, you do it.
Yes, I love that. Thank you.
That
Kahane?
was everything John just eloquently said, but I guess I would also add that for me, kindness is the way we treat each other. So treating each other with respect. And I guess it's a little bit of the golden rule in a way, like, and to me, that's what kindness is. And I'm not even, I'm coming at that from a humanist point of view. It's just that, you know, treating people with respect and understanding that all lives have value, and 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 you know, committing and knowing that that is the truth, and that will then, I think, um, affect every interaction you have. And to me, whether they're big or small, and to me, that's what kindness is. So I never had to define it before.
Thank you. When we were starting, we very similar, it sounds like, went on a journey to learn and had the whole side of the intellectual conversations that are so stimulating and mind-blowing, and the people who are looking at that side of it. And then just everyday people. And one of my favorite questions was to ask, well, how do you define kindness? And I started every conversation with that question, actually. And what I left with was this very beautiful understanding that there is no one definition. I think that is what makes kindness so fascinating, and something so worthy to give time and resources and energy to. It affects every human. It truly is a language every single person can speak, no matter where you are in the world.
Yeah.
And that is powerful. That makes it so potent. And so I do love getting to hear from people, and especially something like what you're coming off of with this project, even more so how your definition may have even shifted or changed to what it is today. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I know we'll be wrapping up shortly, but I do think this is a film that is going to inspire people, no matter where they are, when they're watching it, to want to do something, to want to take action. And I believe that the Antidote website will have resources and ways for people to get involved and to do something. Is there anything that you would want to remind people of, to take into consideration, or something that they can do after seeing this film?
Well, I think spreading the word about the film is probably one of the most important things, because we do believe that film and documentary film has the power to change hearts and minds. So the more hearts and minds that we can change, the better. So it's not just about wanting people to see our film. It's really that the film was meant to be seen and talked about. It was meant to inspire people to, as I say, have hopefully their hearts and minds changed about the communities they live in, the way they go through the world. So spreading the word, theantidotemovie.com. It'll be streaming on all major services in just a few weeks. And so everybody will have the ability to see it. And then on theantidotemovie.com, there are wonderful links to organizations that we have partnered with, and very importantly, Volunteer Match, which is an incredible organization where you put in your zip code, and you find out about all the organizations near you where you can volunteer. It's just a simple, very, very powerful tool that we're very excited about. But we're excited to partner with you, and that through you, we're going to reach the millions of people that believe in your mission, and that we can have, kindness.org as, an incredible partner for the Antidote.
We hope you are encouraged and you are inspired to take action. Please visit the film website. I believe it's theantidotemovie.com. and share it, friends. This is the time where we need to put positive messages into the world to activate and mobilize people to choose kindness. Sounds like it's a great time as well for the holidays. So whether you are seeing family virtually or getting together in person, make a Zoom call to watch this film together. I think it will be something that will help create togetherness with those closest to you. And it is about empathy. It is about seeing someone. It is about that intention of what you can do to help. And so we hope that you will do that, that you will commit to do a kind act, do something, one thing, many things. If you need ideas, you can visit our site, kindness.org. We'll have also a plethora of ways that you can take action, but it is about that. It's our choices, it's our actions, and those are the things that have the ripple effects. And you'll see that throughout the film, and I'm sure you're already reflecting on how you've seen it in your own life and hopefully how you can ripple that out to those around you. So happy World Kindness Day. Enjoy the film. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
Joy.
Bye.